Well, the Alzheimer's Association says as many as 14 million Americans could be plagued by Alzheimer's disease by the middle of this century.
Caring for that population will be a huge task, but a newly remodeled facility at Grace Presbyterian Village in Dallas leads the way in innovation. Channel 8's Byron Harris has that story.
Tell you what, Mother, tell me who this is up here. Look up here. Who's this?
I'll check back tomorrow.
That's you, yeah, it sure is.
For Alzheimer's patients, the past dominates the present. For Katie Waller, her children standing in front of their old house on Poplar Street may be more recognizable than they are now.
Here we go. End of the room.
Katie Waller's new home at Grace Presbyterian Village may help Alzheimer's patients and their families better than any in the country.
It's a chicken, Dad, that just like Mother used to have in the kitchen. Isn't that nice?
Sure is.
The dining room, for instance, is designed to look like a homey kitchen. A ceramic chicken, a washer and dryer, an old-fashioned mixer. They all present patients with familiar memories instead of forcing them into a world which is less and less familiar. The door of each room has a shadow box of the residents' mementos.
Allows them to retain their dignity. In traditional healthcare, we strip every bit of dignity away from residents. But with this design, we allow residents to retain their dignity.
Come here.
Come here, Okie.
Okie Bob, who lives here most of the time, makes life better. But so do physical improvements. One of the most difficult things for Alzheimer's patients is simply giving them a bath. This tub makes that a lot easier. It opens from the side to allow them to sit down. It can be partially filled with water so they don't get cold. Then the tub is closed back down and it tilts backward for the bathing process. Rooms have beds that raise and lower to the floor for easier entry. Bathrooms are easy to see from the room, a big issue for residents who often forget where they are. A sitting room is designed like a front porch with views of the outside and plenty of rocking chairs. They help residents expend nervous energy that reduces agitation.
You're going to move today, Dad.
Oh, we are?
It took years for Grace to plan and remodel the facilities it's now moving into. They'll help early, mid-stage, and advanced Alzheimer's patients and their families through one of the most difficult periods of life. Byron Harris, Channel 8 News.
Grace Presbyterian Village, by the way, is located on 28 acres in Oak Cliff.
From WFAA TV, Channel 8, the spirit of Texas, this is News 8 at 5.
Alzheimer's disease is growing at epidemic proportions as America gets older. But until this weekend, Alzheimer's patients suffered from a kind of discrimination. They were denied Medicare benefits.
The Bush administration now has reversed that policy, and that will change millions of lives. Channel 8's Byron Harris has the story.
I think we got a good lunch for you today.
At the Alzheimer's Care Unit of Grace Presbyterian Village, the goal is to make patients feel better. Not surprising, but until recently, a lot of the services delivered here were not reimbursable by Medicare. In the past, if a patient who happened to have Alzheimer's broke a hip, Medicare often wouldn't pay for the rehabilitation. As a result, a lot of maladies went either untreated or unpaid for.
Now we're going to change hands. You're going to use your left hand and do the same thing.
Gladys Walker has early Alzheimer's as well as a painful shoulder from a recent fall. Now Medicare can pay for her recovery.
Now we can branch out into a more global coverage for treatment with residents who have beginning stages of Alzheimer's and need to have safety issues addressed before a hip fracture occurs.
Cletus Svoboda is strengthening her upper body. That will help her balance and her survival if she falls unexpectedly. Now Medicare can pay for the training.
Nobody knows what the cost is going to be yet, but I'm sure it will be quite a lot.
Alzheimer's costs $100 billion a year to treat in the United States. Families pay most of it out of their own pockets. Even as the federal government says it will pay more, the Bush administration proposes to cut nearly $3 billion from the Medicare budget. Something will have to give.
We feel it is heading the right direction, but it still needs to be clarified a great deal.
The difference between good intentions and improvement will have to be money. Byron Harris, Channel 8 News.
UT Southwestern Medical Center made a major announcement today. School leaders kicked off a campaign to raise $450 million for medical research. Most of it would go towards researching Alzheimer's disease. Channel 8's Cynthia Vega has the story.
69-year-old Sarah Beth Stevens has lived a full life. She married her childhood sweetheart and raised 2 loving daughters. But today, it's all a blur. Stevens has Alzheimer's disease.
Of course, the worst thing was just seeing the deterioration.
Unraveling the mystery of Alzheimer's disease is an ongoing mission for researchers at UT Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas.
Well, there's a huge amount of information now about how an abnormal protein, amyloid protein, accumulates in the brain of patients with Alzheimer's disease.
Molecular scientist and Nobel Prize winner Dr. Al Gilman is one of many researchers about to benefit from UT Southwestern's announcement. Of the $450 million it's raising, $86 million is earmarked for Alzheimer's research.
And there's great hope that this will be offer prevention and treatment of people with this awful disease.
There is still no cure for Alzheimer's. The best residents here can hope for is some newfound insight into how to treat the disease. It'll help loved ones.
For now, faced with an uncertain future, it's all the Stevens family can do to take things one step at a time. Cynthia Vega, Channel 8 News.